This location is not suitable for you. A graduate of middle school, and it's humiliating for you to be present here. You are an impoverished woman living on a pension. I have no desire to associate with you. So why don't you depart? The words spoken by my eldest son's wife caused me to lose my composure. Finally, the haughty demeanor that I have endured for many years came to the forefront of my mind, and I was boiling with rage. I said to her, "If only you would remain silent and listen," before I could finish. My second son's wife, who appeared pale, said, "Oh, Mary, don't tell me you are unaware. This is the tale of my eldest son's wife, who had mocked me, her mother-in-law, until she found herself in a wretched situation. My name is Sally. Today, I am turning 62 years old. I am already advanced in age, but I have managed to lead a healthy life. After completing junior high school, I have dedicated my time to work and raising my children. And before I knew it, I have reached this stage in life. Even for me, it was disheartening when my beloved husband suddenly passed away 5 years ago. However, with the support of those around me, I have been able to overcome the challenges over the past few years. Currently, I am working a small amount. I have taken on the responsibilities of my late husband's work, and although there are some minor issues, the work itself is progressing well, and I am content with it. But there is something that troubles me more than that. "Greetings, I have a delivery for you," I reply as the courier approaches my door. It was a solitary sealed envelope and an exquisite floral arrangement. It was a flower display with I received a delightful birthday card from my second son, Tyler. It was a pleasant surprise since he never used to send me anything when he was single. I believe his wife, Ariana, took care of it. Tyler has always had a carefree and easygoing personality, while Ariana is more assertive and thoughtful. They live about an hour's drive away, but they make an effort to visit occasionally and include me in their travel plans. I called Ariana to express my gratitude, and she cheerfully wished me a happy birthday. She mentioned that she heard I have a fondness for flowers and hoped that I would continue to stay well. I eagerly anticipate our next meeting. Ariana truly is an exceptional wife, far too good for Tyler. On the other hand, the sender of the other sealed letter turned out to be my eldest son, Tom. He sent me a birthday card as well. Tom, who got married slightly before Tyler, isn't the type of person to do something like this on his own. It must have been his wife, Mary. I've always been concerned about Mary. She often boasts about her prestigious job at a large company, emphasizing her high level of education. She has a strong personality and, to put it frankly, comes across as arrogant. Mary tends to judge people based on their educational background and the companies they work for. If someone is deemed inferior to her, she immediately adopts a condescending attitude. As someone who has been working since completing junior high school, I am often looked down upon by her. For her, I was aware from the start that she held a disdainful opinion of me. However, as time passed, her arrogance only grew. She would show up at my house unannounced, and then proceed to berate me about preparing meals. She claimed to be tired from work. Additionally, she would secretly ask me for money behind Tom's back. Tom, who also holds a managerial position at the restaurant chain, never has financial troubles. Nonetheless, I love Tom, who is like a husband to me, as he is soft-spoken and somewhat delicate. I tolerate her behavior because she is married to him. But if I'm being honest, it hurts me and I don't feel good about it. However, she did congratulate me on my birthday. The least I can do is thank her, so I reached out to Mary. I made the call and she answered, saying, "Hello, I apologize. I'm exhausted from work, so please make it quick." Like that, I said, "Did you send me a birthday card?" I called to express my gratitude for the card you sent me. "Thank you." "Oh, you received it. I'm relieved." "Oh, by the way, there's a dinner party with your relatives coming up, right?" "Sally, please dress appropriately so I won't be embarrassed." "Yes, thank you anyway." Yes. Well then, goodbye." She hung up. There wasn't even a single word of congratulations, but that's just how Mary is. I sighed to myself and wondered if there was anything I could do. A few weeks later, I had an opportunity to attend a dinner party with my relatives. My niece, whom I have adored since she was a young girl, was getting married. She is a cousin of Tom and Tyler. Since they had decided not to have a wedding, they opted for a dinner soiree was organized to introduce her spouse to her extended family. The guest list included myself, Tom, Mary, Tyler, and Ariana. As I strolled alongside my second son and his wife, who had arrived earlier via the courtyard where the gathering was to take place, I couldn't help but notice the pleasant weather today. Don't you agree? Your kimono looks splendid on you, and it complements this courtyard perfectly. I remarked, well, this is certainly an appropriate setting, and it's been quite some time since I last visited. I wish I had also chosen to wear a kimono. It's a truly elegant and luxurious restaurant. Oh, come now. I can't afford to buy you an expensive kimono for a place like this, I responded. I understand. I was just expressing my thoughts, she replied. While we engaged in such conversation, my eldest son and his wife arrived late. Hello, you're dressed exceptionally well, I exclaimed. Hey, there's no need to say it like that. Tom tried to intervene, but Mary seemed visibly displeased. It's almost time to go inside, I announced, leading the way into the restaurant. Approximately 30 relatives had gathered, and many of them approached me to offer their greetings. She is truly beloved, isn't she? Or perhaps it's just out of pity? Mary whispered from a slight distance, but I overheard her words. Nonetheless, I chose to ignore her comment and proceeded to take my seat. My niece and her partner exchanged pleasantries with me, and after a toast, the dinner party commenced. Initially, I had anticipated a restaurant in a rural area, but the cuisine turned out to be quite impressive. They boasted an excellent selection of sake as well. It's no wonder they were featured in a Tokyo magazine. Mary thoroughly enjoyed her meal, indulging in delicacies and savoring plenty of sake. While expressing such sentiments, the dinner proceeded peacefully in a joyous atmosphere to celebrate my niece's wedding. I was relieved to see that my niece's spouse appeared to be a dependable individual. By the way, I heard that you graduated from the University of K and are employed at a renowned bank. During the conversation, one of the relatives made remarks about my niece's partner's marriage. Yes, indeed I do. I am grateful to my parents for allowing me to attend college. My niece's partner responded with apprehension. So far so good. Q University? I graduated from W University. I hold a high-ranking position at a large corporation. Mary stepped forward, even though no one inquired. She was eager to boast about her educational background and the company she is employed by. Hey, please stop. Tom attempted to intervene, but Mary disregarded him. She stated, after all, in this day of age, one's academic background is highly significant, isn't it? No, I don't believe so. There are many respectable individuals, regardless of their educational background. My niece's partner replied firmly. However, Mary's monologue did not cease. I assume you, who attended Key University, would comprehend that there are certain things only educated individuals can understand. I imagine you would comprehend. People without an education are of a lower caliber. What? My niece's partner was slightly taken aback. Hey, you've had too much to drink. That's enough, Mary. Tom and Ariana desperately tried to restrain her. Tom regarded Mary as if she were an extraterrestrial being. The same sentiment was shared by the relatives who were present. There, if you lack an education, you cannot secure employment at a reputable company, and you cannot earn a living. Do you comprehend what I am saying, Sally? She abruptly inquired of me, but I had already anticipated her query. I am unsure, Mary. You consume excessive amounts of alcohol. Why don't you venture outside and get some fresh air? I promptly responded, but it appeared to agitate her. What is the matter with you? Mary, you are being rather severe. Did you just instruct me to depart? even though I possess a college degree and you only have a junior high school diploma. I failed to comprehend. Hey, what on earth are you? Tom attempted to intervene, but I halted him with a glance. Now that we have reached this point, the truth must be revealed, I pondered. Mary, if you have something to express, why don't you articulate it? I stated, and she chuckled through her nostrils, then proceeded to speak. Well, allow me to enlighten you. If I were in your position, I would feel too embarrassed to attend family gatherings because you are a middle school graduate without any qualifications. All of our relatives, including my niece and her spouse, were observing us. She remarked, I haven't witnessed you engaging in much work since your husband's passing. I mean, you are unemployed at the age of 62. It is nowhere near the retirement age at my workplace, where individuals are diligently toiling as esteemed managers. Mary was the sole breadwinner. She seemed to derive pleasure from the situation. You did not attend high school, nor did you attend a prestigious university, and you lack any credentials. That is why you find yourself in this predicament. Do you not believe it is incredibly sad? Oh, I absolutely do not want to become an aunt like you. However, I don't have that concern because I work for a large corporation. Not only did the relatives, but even the employees who provided the food freeze and listen to her words. Then she unleashed the decisive words. She stated, a person who has completed middle school like you does not belong in a place like this, and it is humiliating. You are a financially disadvantaged individual living off a pension. I do not wish to get involved, so why don't you leave? Mary's words caused me to lose my composure. Finally, the haughty demeanor that I had been struggling so hard to tolerate until now surfaced in my mind, and I felt a surge of anger. The back of my nose twitched, and I held back the tears that were about to flow. I thought to myself, hey, I should just stay silent and listen. But before I could finish that thought, Ariana, who appeared very pale, said, Oh, Mary, please don't tell me you are unaware. She said, What? I don't know what. Mary looked at Ariana with skeptical eyes, then glanced around at the relatives. Some appeared bitter, some looked genuinely angry, and some seemed condescending. Tom lowered his gaze and slumped down. What? What on earth? Mary exclaimed, and Ariana responded in a trembling voice. Sally is the proprietor of this restaurant, remember? After a moment of silence, What? Don't make me laugh. What are you talking about? Mary chuckled. Then the manager and the employees who were present rushed over to me. Boss, are you all right? She is an exceptional individual. I cannot express how much she has assisted me. Do you know what is the topic of discussion? He shouted angrily at Mary. She turned to Tom. Tom, what is the reason for all this? Nothing. It is simply that what they have said is accurate. What? What are you referring to? You have never informed me before. Dad and Mom established this restaurant, and she took over from him, but she was not in a favorable position to manage the business on her own. So now, she lends her name to someone else to oversee the operations. It is indeed true that she is the proprietor. Why did you not inform me? If I were to inform you, you would make foolish remarks about acquiring the restaurant or the property. I wanted to leave my mother alone, as she was feeling down after my father's passing. Furthermore, as soon as you learned about my mother's level of education, you looked down on her and lost interest. What? How can someone with only a junior high school education run such an upscale restaurant? Is the business failing? Even the house is old. It is indeed true that they are financially struggling. Tyler was the one who spoke to Mary, who is still expressing dissatisfaction. My mother is someone who prefers simplicity, and the house is filled with memories of my father. She owns a condominium in front of the train station and other properties that she and my father purchased together. To be honest, I believe she earns much more than you do. What? What on earth? You all, that's enough. You are merely a middle school graduate. Why don't you just cease? A calm, composed voice resonated, stating there was a man who was one of the relatives, but not much older than me. He was dressed in a sophisticated suit. "What is the issue in your presence, old man? Refrain from speaking to me. Who are you, huh?" Mary glanced at the gentleman's countenance to reply, and then her complexion grew pale. "Are you aware of my identity?" "No, absolutely not." "The chief executive officer." This individual happened to be a relative of my spouse. It appeared that he held a high position in Mary's company. I had no inkling that one of her kin was an employee causing difficulties within her organization. "To be frank, your standing within the company is not favorable. I have heard that you are highly critical of your colleagues and treat your subordinates differently based on their educational backgrounds. This seems to greatly impact your work and lead to significant issues with projects." Mary seemed as though she might faint, but the executive director persisted. "I am certain that the situation must be even worse within your own company, considering how poorly you treat your relatives. I will investigate this matter thoroughly and ensure that my report against you is properly examined. You will likely face demotion or termination." "Oh no, Chief Executive Officer, I implore you, please refrain from taking such action." Just as Mary was about to seek assistance, Tom seized her by the shoulders and halted her. "That is enough, Mary." "What? If you had informed me from the outset, this unfortunate situation could have been avoided. Take action to rectify it." "Hey!" Mary, with a flushed face, launched an attack on Tom. "Mary, let us divorce. You consistently behave in such a manner, ruining important occasions and causing issues at work as well. Above all else, I can no longer remain in a relationship with you after the disrespectful way you spoke to my hardworking mother who raised me." Tom expressed his emotionless statement. I couldn't help but cry, while Tyler held me and Ariana comforted me. What on earth is happening? Everyone is defending this woman in her middle age. It's unbelievable that I'm going through a divorce and demotion. Don't be ridiculous. Mary is devastated. The CEO whispered, "You can no longer stay here. It's time for you to leave." I agree. This place is important to us, and my aunt is an important figure. We don't want it to be ruined. Please respect our privacy. My niece, who had been observing the situation, firmly told her, "This is absurd. It's impossible." Mary was shocked and left the room with the employee. Addressing everyone, Tom apologized, bowing his head. My niece comforted me by rubbing my arm. "Aunt, don't worry. I love you, and so does everyone else. Besides, that woman will no longer be your daughter-in-law." "Yes, she won't. Don't worry about it, Sally. I have great respect for you," Ariana whispered to me. Tom also said to me, "I'll be happy if I can divorce her." "I'm sorry, Tom. I can't believe you're going through a divorce because of me," I said. "What are you talking about, Mom? I'm truly sorry for everything I've done. From now on, I'll be more filial towards my parents," Tom reassured me, placing his hand on my shoulder. After that, we all regained our composure, and we were able to finish dinner without any further incidents. A few months later, Tom and Mary finalized their divorce. Mary caused a scene and took the matter to family court to seek alimony, but her claim was ultimately rejected. The managing director informed us that an internal inquiry uncovered issues with Mary's conduct. Despite her pride in her education and work, it is difficult to believe she behaved in such a manner at the workplace. As a result, she was relocated to a smaller branch office in a different region, which can be considered a demotion. Unexpectedly, Tom declared his intention to assume control of the restaurant. I have never pressured my children to take over the family business, as I wanted them to pursue their own passions. However, there was a tinge of sadness in relinquishing the cherished establishment inherited from my husband to someone else. Tom conveyed this sentiment with a serious expression. He remarked that the restaurant must have been imbued with the love and dedication of my father and myself. Though I had yearned to take charge of the restaurant, I believed I lacked the capability and consequently pursued a career in a restaurant chain. Yet, witnessing the profound affection your employees hold for you, I resolved to safeguard the legacy built by you and Dad, Tom continued. I am deeply grateful, but you still have much to learn and comprehend. I will provide guidance and impart knowledge to you, so give it your all. Tom joined me at the restaurant, and I once again became occupied with training him. A year later, on my 63rd birthday, Tom and I stood outside our residence awaiting Tyler's arrival in his car. "Sally, happy birthday!" Ariana exclaimed as she alighted from the vehicle, her voice brimming with delight. Tyler tenderly lifted the baby into his arms. I sat in the rear passenger seat of the vehicle and cradled the infant. "Greetings to both of you. No, it appears there are 3 individuals present. A child has been born, granting me the opportunity to assume the role of a grandmother to my delightful grandchildren. It is high time that I fully dedicate myself to the restaurant industry, with the intention of providing my nephews with delectable cuisine for their festivities." Tom, who is diligently trained and will assume control of the restaurant this year, also squinted his eyes. Today, I secretly desire to discover a new individual for Tom, who has finally become an accomplished chef within the restaurant. A fresh addition for Tom, who has ultimately ascended to the position of a skilled restaurant chef